After several excuses, she was compelled to produce the key. Once Bluebeard examined it, he said to his wife, "Why is there some blood on this key?" "I don't know," answered the poor woman, paler than death. "You don't know?" Bluebeard responded. "I know well enough. You wanted to enter the room. Well, madam, you shall enter it, and you shall take your place among the ladies you saw there." She flung herself at the husband's feet, weeping and begging his pardon, with all the signs of true repentance for had disobeyed him. Her beauty and affliction might have melted a rock. "You must die, madam," he said, and immediately. "If I must die," she replied, looking at him with eyes bathed in tears, "give me a little time to say my prayers." "I shall give you a quarter of an hour," Bluebeard answered, "but not a minute more." As soon as he had left her, she called her sister and said, "Sister Anne," for that was her name, "go up, I beg you, to the top of the tower and see if my brothers are coming. They promised me that they would come and see me today. If you see him, then give them a signal to make haste." Sister Anne mounted on top of the tower, and the poor distressed creature called her every now and then, "Anne, Sister Anne, do you see anything?" And Sister Anne answered, "I see nothing but the sun making dust and the grass growing green." In the meantime, Bluebeard held a cutlass in his hand, and called out to his wife with all of his might, "Come down quickly, or I'll come up there." "Please, 1 minute more," he replied to his wife, who immediately repeated in a low voice, "Anne, Sister Anne, do you see anything coming?" And Sister Anne replied, "I see nothing but the sun making dust and the grass growing green." "Come down quickly," roared Bluebeard, "or I shall come up there." "I'm coming," answered his wife, and then she called, "Anne, Sister Anne, do you see anything coming?" "I see," said Sister Anne, "a great cloud of dust is moving this way. Is it my brothers?" "Alas, no, sister. I see a flock of sheep." "Do you refuse to come down?" shouted Bluebeard. 1 minute more," his wife replied, and then she cried, "Anne, Sister Anne, do you see anything coming?" "I see 2 horsemen coming this way," she responded, "but they're still at a great distance." And a moment afterward she exclaimed, "Heaven be praised, they are my brothers. I'm signaling to them as best as I can to hurry up." Bluebeard began to roar so loudly that the whole house shook, and so his poor wife descended to him and threw herself at his feet, all disheveled in tears. "It's no use," said Bluebeard, "you must die." Then he seized her by the hair, one hand, and raised the cutlass with the other. He was about to cut off her head, when the poor woman turned toward him, and fixing her dying gaze upon him, she implored him to allow her one short moment to collect herself. "No, no," he said. "Commend yourself as best you can to heaven," and lifting an arm. At this moment there was such a loud knocking at the gate that Bluebeard stopped. The gate was opened. 2 horsemen were seen entering right this way. With drawn swords they ran straight at Bluebeard, who recognized them as the brothers of his wife, one a dragoon, the other a musketeer. Consequently, he fled immediately and hoped to escape, but they pursued him so quickly that they overtook him before he could reach the step of his door, when they passed their swords through his body and left him dead on the spot. The poor woman was nearly as dead as her husband, and did not have any strength to rise and embrace her brothers. It was found that Bluebeard had no heirs, and so his widow inherited all of his wealth, and employed part of it to arrange a marriage between Sister Anne and a young gentleman who had loved her for a long time. Anne, in other parts, became captain's commissioner for her 2 brothers. The rest she used for her marriage to a worthy man, who made her forget the miserable time she had spent with Bluebeard.